Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. NBC News reports that the Republican-controlled House of Representatives on Thursday narrowly rejected a resolution aiming to compel President Donald Trump to end the ongoing war with Iran. The vote was 213 to 214, failing by just one vote, and largely split along party lines, with most Republicans supporting Trump's military campaign. Only one Republican, Rep. Thomas Massie, voted for the resolution, while one Democrat, Rep. Jared Golden, voted against it. The measure, introduced by Rep. Gregory Meeks, sought to remove U.S. armed forces from hostilities against Iran unless explicitly authorized by Congress. Meeks argued that Trump's war of choice lacked a coherent strategy. The vote follows recent polls indicating that 60% of Americans disapprove of the military action, and 64% disapprove of Trump's handling of the situation. Alongside rising gas prices and economic concerns impacting Republicans ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. The Senate also rejected a similar measure 52-47 the previous day. Newswire.ca reports that IBM Quantum is significantly advancing healthcare and biology research, as demonstrated by the first-ever Q4 Bio-Supported Challenge program. Algorithmicog, in collaboration with Cleveland Clinic and IBM, secured the $2 million Q4 Bio Prize for their work simulating photodynamic therapy processes using quantum computing on up to 100 qubits. This achievement highlighted a scalable path towards quantum advantage in drug discovery. The Q4 Bio Challenge aimed to accelerate the development of scalable quantum algorithms for human health applications on near-term quantum computers. 5 out of the 6 Phase 3 finalist teams leveraged IBM's utility-scale quantum hardware, including the IBM Quantum Heron R2 and Nighthawk processors, for their research. Projects ranged from encoding the hepatitis D genome for Pangenomics by the University of Oxford and Sanger Institute to biomarker discovery from cancer data by Inflicution, and studying fundamental biochemical reactions like ATP and GTP hydrolysis by Stanford and Michigan State. These multidisciplinary efforts underscore the increasing maturity of quantum computing as a practical tool integrating with classical HPC and GPUs in quantum-centric supercomputing workflows to tackle complex biological problems. Santiago, Chile. UPI. Chilean President José Antonio Kast has unveiled an extensive package of over 40 economic reforms designed to stimulate growth and overcome the nation's stagnation. In a televised address, Kast highlighted 5 key objectives, including enhancing tax competitiveness, strengthening formal employment, and reining in public spending. The cornerstone of the plan is a proposed reduction in the corporate tax rate from 27% to 23%. By 2030, the government aims to achieve an annual economic growth rate of approximately 4% and reduce unemployment to 6.5%. However, the reforms have met with criticism from economists concerned about potential fiscal deficits and opposition lawmakers who argue the tax cuts primarily benefit large corporations and the wealthiest 1%. The bill is expected to face difficult negotiations in Congress. Pope Leo XIV spent his second day in Cameroon's conflict-ridden city of Bamenda, delivering a powerful message of peace and denouncing the masters of war. According to UPI, the pontiff strongly criticized individuals who manipulate religion for military, economic, or political gain, dragging sacred beliefs into darkness. His visit to the northern Anglophone region, which has been severely affected by fighting between separatists and the French-speaking government, saw a temporary pause in hostilities from the separatists. The Pope highlighted the devastating cost of war, noting that billions are spent on destruction while resources for healing and education are neglected. He also acknowledged how the crisis has fostered closer ties between Christian and Muslim communities, who are working together for peace. This visit is part of his 11-day Africa tour, which includes Algeria, Angola, and Equatorial Guinea, underscoring the continent's growing importance to the Catholic Church. UPI reports that the North Korean human rights movement continues to grapple with long-standing challenges, including being overshadowed by political and security issues, humanitarian crises elsewhere, and a perennial lack of funding. Author Greg Scarlatu highlights a new systemic challenge, a hard turn toward realism in international relations, eroding the liberal, institutionalist, and constructivist elements that typically support human rights efforts. Despite these difficulties, positive change is still possible through privately funded global campaigns that expose North Korea's human rights violations and emphasize the human rights security nexus. He advocates for information operations aimed at empowering North Koreans, particularly younger generations, to become a revolutionary generation capable of organizing and acting for change. Scarlatu stresses that future unification must prioritize people over territory and occur under a free, democratic, prosperous, and capitalist Republic of Korea, with compliance with human rights principles being paramount. He also notes that while K-pop offers a window into the outside world, it does not inherently create revolutionaries, and information campaigns should focus on fostering awareness, organizational capacity, and courage. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.